So are the people there just not worried about it, Cal? Are they not worried about their own personal safety?
I haven't met anybody who is. I met some folks actually from Lake Geneva who lived in the area. They were staying a few miles outside of town where I were, and they said they're worried about it. They're worried about that second spike. They're worried about folks coming in from Chicago. But they'll quickly add at the same time, this is a place that relies on that business. I think people here want a little bit more funding when it comes to these programs so that they could stay closed. But again, I think people felt like the Supreme Court made the decision here in Wisconsin that it was time to open up. But you can see, here, just around. Nobody's wearing them. Nobody's,
the cameraman.
There you go, including the cameraman. Yeah. Katie?
Half your crew's not wearing.
Striking images. Cal Perry. Cal, thank you very much.
Reporting that nobody is taking it seriously. Nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody cares. While the crew and the cameramen of MSNBC are not wearing masks.
Idiots.
I'm Tyler Zed. Welcome to Zeducation. Welcome to another episode of Zeducation. Today we're going to do another episode of Things That Didn't Age Well, Fake News Edition. And before we get to some more examples, I want to flash back to that intro and go from the angle of the guy calling out MSNBC for not wearing masks. Look, there it is. Cameraman not wearing a mask. And as you can see in the behind too, must be a producer or something like that. Also not wearing masks. Hypocrites. Not to mention the fact that these places also have a death counter. They have a death counter on their broadcasts. On the right side there, you can see that there's a total confirmed cases and a total deaths. And there's no doubt in my mind that this is meant to drive fear, continue to drive home the fact that this is scary, this is fearful. They're trying to make it into a political thing. They're trying to make Trump look bad. And this is very clear. And this broadcast here by this MSNBC anchor saying no one's taking it serious, no one's even wearing a mask. And the guy says, well, your crew isn't either. Very, very, very symbolic of the entire media over the last 3.5 years. So that's why today we're going to go over some more fake news examples from this past week. And this is going to have to be a series. We've done this with CNN and MSNBC, but there's a lot of examples that we need to cover. So today starts the new series of That Didn't Age Well, Fake News Edition. But first, as always, before we get to today's list, to support this channel, please subscribe and please click the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, onto this episode's Things That Didn't Age Well, Fake News Edition. Number 5. If you've been paying attention to the news at all in the last 3 years, then you know there has been a double standard with the Kavanaugh situation and now the Biden situation. And Politico perfectly exemplifies that in this example. Back in 2018, they wrote this article. Christine Blasey Ford and the power of vulnerability. She just showed the country that betraying emotion doesn't make you less credible. Flash forward to now, when there's allegations against Joe Biden, Politico writes an article titled this against Joe Biden's accuser. Manipulative, deceitful user Tara Reade left a trail of aggrieved acquaintances. A number of those who crossed paths with Biden's accuser say they remember two things. She spoke favorably about her time working with Biden, and she left them feeling duped. So one is credible when it fits the agenda, and the other one is not credible. Nice work exposing yourselves further, Politico. Number 4. The Trump hit pieces are nonstop, and it's really funny when they don't work, and then they flip-flop and totally go against their previous stance just to try and make Trump look bad and try to get at him at some angle. For example, The Atlantic. In 2016, they wrote this article about Trump. Trump is a climax of American masculinity. The error in equating aggression with competence. Flash forward to now, when that obviously didn't work, they write this about Trump. Donald Trump, the most unmanly president. Why don't the president's supporters hold him to their own standard of masculinity? So in 2016, he's masculine, and it's toxic, and now he's unmanly. He's not masculine. Maybe they're trying to get at him. Maybe they're trying to hurt his feelings. I don't know. But clearly they have a problem with keeping their garbage in line with one opinion. Number 3. The easiest way to spot fake news is to compare things that Trump did and Obama did they did the same thing, and compare the reactions from the media. And one of the best examples of that is with the AP. In 2015, the AP tweeted this. Breaking. Obama sends $4 trillion spending plan to Congress, pledging help for middle class. Compare that 3 years later, they tweeted this when Trump did the same thing. Breaking. President Trump sends Congress $4.4 trillion spending plan that features soaring deficits. So when it's $4 trillion under Obama, he's helping the middle class. When it's $4 trillion under Trump, soaring debt. It's the same thing. You literally, the same thing is happening. The president is passing a bill, approving a spending bill, but you spin it a certain way because one of them fits your agenda and one of them doesn't. Fake news. Number 2, the Washington Post might as well be on the level of CNN. They are absolutely terrible. They're atrocious at reporting the facts, at reporting the news, and putting their spin to make it anti-Trump. Every single time. For example, these 2 headlines. You don't understand sarcasm, how Trump and his allies downplay his comments. So they're saying that when Trump says something distasteful, the defense of his supporters is always, oh, he's joking. It's sarcasm. You don't get it. But when the same thing happens with Joe Biden, this is what the Washington Post reported. Come on. Biden's "you ain't black" comment was clearly a joke. So when it's Joe Biden, that's a okay defense, but when it's Trump, it's not okay. Washington Post, you are also fake news. Number 1. On to this episode's number 1. Back to the beginning with the masks. This isn't the only place. MSNBC is not the only place that has been very hypocritical with pushing the fear of the masks. And one of the worst examples of this, one of the worst hypocrisies, comes from CNN's very own Caitlin Collins. While at the White House press briefing, they all wear masks. Every journalist wears a mask. But as soon as the briefing is done with, this happens. So while the cameras are rolling, make sure you have the mask on. Make sure you show the public that you're wearing the mask. But as soon as the cameras aren't rolling, take it off because the act is over. Right, Caitlin? Right? Hypocrites. As you can see, the media still has a problem with the truth. They still have a problem with putting their own spin on things, all in the name of hating Trump. And again, I don't care if you hate Trump. I don't care. I don't care if you disagree with some of the things he says. We can all agree that this is not journalism. This is not journalism. This is not the news. This is opinion-based spin on a current events. That's what it is, all in the name of getting rid of Trump. And it is so transparent that it's not even funny. We don't even need to listen to Trump tell us this anymore. We don't need to listen to him say the enemy of the people. We don't need to hear that. We can all see it with our own eyes in examples like Caitlin Collins. They're telling us that we all, be scared. Be scared. Look at me. I'm wearing mine. And then as soon as the cameras stop rolling, you take it off. No one else has a problem with that? Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about all these fake news examples? Did you know about the fake news before Trump came along? Because they've been around forever. They've been around for a long, long time. While you're down there, let me know what you think. Please like this video. Please help me get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Education.